Okay, you guys, I'm trying to get this thing in focus. Oh, the joys of having a brand new cell phone. Let me tell you, I have discovered I'm the only person on the planet who doesn't like to get a new cell phone. Okay, I don't know what it is, but moving on. Order of operations part 2, go with the flow. Listen, I forgot to mention something to you. Hello? Ding, ding, ding. With this, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally PEMDAS situation, okay? On the left-hand side where you wrote your PEMDAS, I'd like you to write a bold colored arrow, okay, above your MD here and above your addition and subtraction here. And put a star, put the smiley face, put the heart, put the exclamation marks, and underline it several times. Do it enthusiastically. Yes. Okay. Why? Because people, here I have to tell you, when you get from parentheses to exponents and you come down to the multiply and divide and the add and subtract section, what you need to know is that when you get to multiply and divide, you have to do, okay, multiply or divide, whatever comes first from left to right. We read a book, right, from left to right. So when you're doing order of operations and you get to the multiply and divide section, you have to look at what you have and you have to make sure that you do whatever comes first, okay? Multiply or divide, whatever comes first from left to right. So go ahead and write LR with the arrow above it and circle it and put another star. Yes, okay? Do it now, okay? Left to right, okay? Now, guys, you're probably wondering what you've already written this down. Okay. You're probably wondering what in the world is the shenanigans, okay? Seriously, of what's going on here. I mentioned in the former video that, students with parentheses and exponents and negative symbols, blah. Okay, it just confuses people. And listen, I'm here to answer your questions even after we're done watching the video, but I'm going to try to go through it as quickly and painlessly as possible, okay, to let you know the differences of each. But this is not 2 times 6, okay? We're realizing that an exponent is a power. So you take this is the base, the coefficient or the base, and you multiply it by itself 6 times. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 2 is 64, okay? So 2 to the 6th power, okay, and that's an even exponent, okay? 2 to the 6th power is 64. But what if we put parentheses around it? Doesn't mean anything different, you guys. Nothing. That's 2 to the 6th power, okay? What if you put parentheses around the 2 and then put the exponent on the outside? Doesn't mean anything different, you guys, because this exponent is talking to what's inside. Same deal, 64. Okay? No difference. So all 3 mean exactly the same thing. Moving on. Okay? Now, we have a negative symbol here. Okay? So that is a -2 being raised to the 6th power. Well, guess what? It's still 64, you guys. Okay? Because think of it this way. A negative times a negative gives you a positive, times a negative gives you a negative, times a negative gives you a positive, times a negative gives you a negative, times a negative gives you a positive. Ding, ding, ding. So whenever you have an even exponent with a negative number, that's just a trick that we learn, trick of the trade, shall we say, okay? You wind up with a positive outcome. But hello, what is going on here? This is a different story, okay? This means give me since the negative symbol is on the outside of the parentheses, it means give me the opposite of whatever the result of 2 to the 6th power is. Well, if we look up here, and 2 to the 6th power is 64. But we know that but the opposite refers to positive or negative, right? So what is the opposite of a positive 64? Negative 64. And there you have it, okay? Now, you guys, these two are one and the same. This is a negative 2 being raised to the 6th power. They just put the parentheses around it, okay? It's still a positive 64. Now, this negative 2 is also being raised to that 6th power, just like here. What's the difference between this and this? There's a negative outside in front. Same deal. You take the negative 2, raise it to the 6th power, you get 64, but you have to give me the opposite of that result. So the opposite is a negative 64. Pretty pain-free, okay? I hope that was helpful for you, but I'm going to go ahead and erase this right now. And, honestly, you guys, don't get stressed out about it. It just takes practice, okay? It just takes practice and exposure. But I want you to see something here. Ooh, hello. This is a negative 2, okay? That looks like a negative 2 raised to the 6th power. But we're going to talk about that in a second because it's actually different when it is in an expression, okay? So a lot of students look at this and they say to me, hey, Miss H, is that 67 minus 2 to the 6th power? Or is that a negative 2? Raised to the 6th power? Here is the answer, simple, okay? When it is in an expression such as this, okay, it is 67 minus 2 to the 6th power. If it was all by itself, just like we talked about over here, right? If it was all by itself, then that's a negative 2 raised to the 6th power, okay? But it's not by itself here. It's within the expression. So it's actually 67 minus, okay, 2 to the 6th power. I hope you can understand the distinction, okay? So when it's by itself, that would be negative 2 raised to the 6th power, but it's not by itself here. So it's part of the expression. So it's 67 minus 2 to the 6th power. So let's start with our order of operations, PEMDAS. Here we go. All right, do we have any parentheses? Yes. Yes, we do. Okay, and you have to do what is inside of the parentheses. Don't freak out, okay? Do not freak out, people, about the power here, the exponent here, and the exponent here. One step at a time. You're in good hands. I got you. I got your back. Here we go. Well, you can't do 67 minus 2 to the 6th power. Cannot be done. So we have to do the exponent within those parentheses. So what do we know? We know that 2 to the 6th power, as we've done, 6 million times, is 64. Okay? Okay, and we're following along, and you're writing in your notes as I'm writing this, okay? Now, are we done with what's inside of the parentheses? No. So 67 minus 64 gives us what? 3. Here we go. Now, we can clean this up a little bit, okay? And we can just, so that we're not confused. This is what we have right now, okay? Are we done with parentheses? Yes. There's nothing more to do inside of the parentheses. So what do? Check. Okay. Now let's go down to, what are we looking for? Exponents. Do we have any exponents? Yes, we do. That's 3 to the 3rd power. So 3 times 3 times 3 is what? You said it, 27. And bring it closer. Shorten it. Do you see how it was like wide? Okay, and now we're bringing it down. Okay. Do we have any more exponents? No. Check. Check as we go. Okay. Now, 8, turn it on. 8 plus 27 gives me what? 35. Okay, so we're going, oh, and by the way, don't get freaked out about the brackets, okay? No big deal. And this 2 out in the front here tells you, okay, that you need to take this 2 and multiply it to whatever the result of this is. And the brackets are still like considered like parentheses, okay? So we have to do what's inside parentheses before we can multiply. So 8 plus 27 is 35. Do it now. There you go. Okay? So now we're done with the exponents. We're bringing it down. We have multiply and divide. Well, we're multiplying in the numerator, and that's a division line. But you have to deal with the numerator and denominator separately in this situation, okay? So let's just do that. So what's 2 times 35? 70. And bring over the 9. And guess what, Focaroonies? There's your final answer. Shazam! Okay. So, and that is order of operations, and you will have plenty of practice, I can assure you. You guys, seriously, order of operations permeates all throughout the rest of the year, okay? So let's make sure we know and understand that because, and we have to keep things in a process in proper steps and order throughout algebra, okay? So there you have order of operations. Fabulous.